American billionaires who lost all of their billions. Some ended up in jail, and others ended up dead as a result of scamming everyday Americans off billions of dollars. This video is full of unlucky moments, and the first unlucky billionaire is Elizabeth Holmes. She was once on the cover of Forbes for founding a revolutionary startup worth an estimated $9 billion.
The youngest billionaire in the world. Is that heady when you hear that?
You know, it's not what matters. What matters is how well we do in trying to make people's lives better.
You founded this company 12 years ago, right? Tell them how old you were.
I was 19.
Holmes claimed her company, Theranos, was developing a revolutionary blood test that could test for hundreds of diseases and conditions with just a few drops of blood. Holmes dropped out of Stanford University at 19 to launch a company. Like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs dropped out of school to build their highly successful startups. But unfortunately for her, the company was nowhere close to delivering this technology.
These were the last moments of freedom for Elizabeth Holmes as she entered a Texas federal prison. It's where she'll spend tonight and potentially the next 11 years. A stunning fall from grace for the one-time tech superstar.
So, one lie led to another, and before she knew it, Holmes was found guilty of 4 counts of wire fraud in January 2022 by a court. But at least it didn't cost her her life, because this man, Bernie Madoff, died as a result of his unlucky scam. Bernie Madoff died as one of the most unlucky scammers in history. He was a former stockbroker, investment advisor, and financier who had a net worth of $17 billion at the time of his death.
The mastermind of the biggest Ponzi scheme in history has died in prison. At one time, a member of the Wall Street elite.
The whole concept of these new types of systems is to make it easier and more cost-effective for people to trade.
Madoff was someone who was very much in the thick of things on Wall Street and generally respected.
Madoff was the former non-executive chairman of the Nasdaq stock market and the admitted operator of a Ponzi scheme that is considered the largest financial fraud in US history. Madoff's scheme wiped out the fortunes of thousands of investors and charities. Some notable celebrities include Kevin Bacon and Steven Spielberg. At the time of his arrest, Madoff's clients thought they collectively controlled $65 billion. The statements they received were fake. More than 15,000 claims were filed against Madoff. On June 29, 2009, Madoff was sentenced by Judge Chin to a term of 150 years in prison.
A Federal Bureau of Prisons bus brought Madoff to his new home in North Carolina today after a 34-hour trip from New York. A 71-year-old convicted con man who once traveled by private jet and wore suits hand-tailored in London was seen in a blue prison jumpsuit as he walked into the Butner facility, considered one of the crown jewels of the federal prison system.
In early 2020, he asked for a compassionate release, claiming that he had less than 2 years to live due to kidney failure. His request was denied and he died the following year. If that's not unlucky, then I don't know what is. But 31-year-old former cryptocurrency billionaire and founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, perpetrated a multi-billion-dollar scheme designed to make him the king of crypto. As cryptocurrency valuations surged, Bankman-Fried's net worth grew to $26 billion, according to Forbes magazine, before he turned 30. Bankman-Fried poured hundreds of millions into mainstream marketing, including the naming rights to leading esports league TSM and the Miami's Heats. Bankman-Fried was also the second largest billionaire donor to Democratic causes in the 2022 midterm election, giving nearly $40 million.
Tonight, a verdict for the fallen crypto king, Sam Bankman-Fried. The 31-year-old founder of FTX has now been found guilty on all 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy, now convicted of stealing billions of dollars from his own cryptocurrency customers. One of the biggest white-collar verdicts that we have seen since Bernie Madoff was sent to prison.
But he was later found guilty of charges including fraud. Bankman-Fried was found guilty of stealing billions of dollars from accounts belonging to customers of his once high-flying crypto exchange, FTX. He was also found guilty of defrauding lenders to FTX's sister company, the hedge fund Alameda Research, which held FTX customer funds in a bank account. A jury in New York found the so-called crypto king guilty of securities fraud and 6 other criminal counts. Now the founder of crypto firm FTX could spend the rest of his life in prison. Imagine investing your hard-earned money, hoping your investment will one day pay off, only to find out a rascal is using your money to live it up. Damn, I wouldn't find that funny if it was me. But I know Sam Bankman-Fried's story sounds like the worst, but it's not, because Aubrey McClendon was reportedly worth $1.2 billion as the co-founder of a major oil and gas company called Chesapeake Energy. But he definitely did not earn his fortune honestly, because in 2016 he was indicted on federal conspiracy charges. The government accused McClendon of unfairly manipulating bids for drilling rights. He was charged in a federal indictment, accusing him of conspiring to violate federal antitrust law by rigging bids to buy oil and natural gas leases in northwest Oklahoma from late 2007 through 2012, when he ran Chesapeake Energy, the nation's second-largest natural gas producer.
It was just after 9 this morning when 56-year-old Aubrey McClendon's SUV crashed into the wall of this Oklahoma City highway overpass and exploded into flames. Police Captain Paco Balderrama.
He pretty much drove straight into the wall. There was plenty of opportunity for him to correct or get back on the roadway, and that didn't occur.
The death of the former CEO of Chesapeake Energy comes one day after the Department of Justice charged him with rigging bids on oil leases.
The day after he was charged, McClendon died in a car accident, which some have speculated was a suicide. Though McClendon appeared to be wealthy before his death, creditors claimed he borrowed $465 million for business ventures in 2013 and saw payment from his estate. Because of outstanding debts, McClendon may have had a net worth close to zero when he died. I know these billionaires sound crazy, but the state of California is owned by 4 billionaires. You would think that with all the celebrities and the 186 billionaires in the state of California, more people would be able to have an influence in the state, but that could not be further from the truth. If you want to hear more about that, click the video on the screen now. This video is over, so what are you doing? Click it now.